G'day Internet, Max right here, and we're going to be listening to Robert Kiyosaki here in a little bit. He's going to be talking about how toxic the dollar is. Going to talk about gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. But today is a pretty special day in that Kyle Rittenhouse has been found not guilty on all charges. And I'm going to play this. This is the jury, the jury foreman reading just the 7 different charges, and I think he just reads not guilty on each one. You won't be able to hear this, but just watch Kyle's reaction as each charge has happened. You see him sobbing uncontrollably and the relief. And I've had to watch this about 5 or 6 times before I could just record this video so that I'm not bawling my eyes out while we're doing this. So I'll have to take that out so that's not in my ear. But yeah, so there's Kyle, and he just starts sobbing as the news comes, one by one, charge by charge, and on the final charge, he just collapses. And I'm reminded of the scene. Oh my God, I'm reminded of the scene at the end of Shawshank Redemption, where after decades and decades of abuse by this seemingly almighty, gargantuan ball of corruption and evil and power. There's the prison guards, there's the prison warden, there's all of the guards going into it, and just this innocent man's life is just destroyed and tormented by this web of evil. And you can it's hard to imagine until you've ever been in the snares of just a corruption like that. It's hard to imagine that type of evil and that abuse of power exists. And there's this young kid who, like most young kids, is just, relatively innocent in life, believing most people are good people who do good things. And certainly those people in positions of power and our leaders that we look up to are good people. And then all of a sudden, he just finds himself in this web of just wretchedness where you've got Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and GoFundMe and PayPal and everyone just railing against him, taking away his presumption of innocence and calling him guilty on day one. The candidate for president of the United States and future president of the United States, Biden, calling him a white supremacist. You've got half the country assuming he's guilty. You've got all these people spreading lies about him. It's amazing how many people just now have figured out. He got called a white supremacist all the time. Everyone assumed the people he shot were black people. They weren't. They were white. People just were believing the lies. You've got this corrupt DA who should be arresting the others for the attempted murder of him. Instead, he's arresting the guy who defended himself against the instigators. And by the way, there's still justice is incomplete. Those guys who attacked Kyle and almost killed him need to be in jail. That is what's happened for justice to be complete. And so after years of torment and just this seemingly insurmountable amount of evil and corruption, just putting Kyle in the crosshairs and focusing on him, and for him to be out from under that weight and the overflow of amazing, just as much as all the evidence is going well, and for those of us following the trial, the trial went well for him. All the key witnesses collapsed and basically confessed they were aggressing against him. And even though you see all these things go wrong, by this stage, your belief that the corruption and the powers that be that are raging against you are so powerful and so entrenched and across so many different disciplines, government, the legal faculty, the state government, the federal government, the social media companies. You believe everything is so corrupt. You're still terrified that somehow they're going to get to the jury. They're going to get to the jury somehow, and my life is going to be destroyed. You just can't believe that there's a chance that there's good people out there. And as he watches the verdict come in, it's special. It's really, really special. So good on Kyle, I say. All right. I'm going to hit pause on that because Twitter loops. And I'm going to put this earpiece back in my head so I can hear Robert Kiyosaki. And, wow, that is rough. That's emotional stuff, guys. So here's Robert. Let's talk about getting rich again, huh? That's what you guys like to talk about the most. I like talking about this stuff the most, to be honest. But we'll talk about the markets. We'll talk about getting rich and what we can do for our money. So here's what Robert Kiyosaki thinks of the dollar And it kind of ties in because it's the same powers. The governments and the corruption that exists in our money system. And that is how they fund everything. It's how they can buy control of important companies. It's how they can fund all of their evil, is through the corruption of the money system. And so let's hear what Robert has to say about that exact corruption right here. Okay, had to do a little redo on that one because you guys weren't hearing the audio, but you can now.
What's going on in gold and Bitcoin and silver? In my opinion, the most important investment things we should be looking at today, given how nuts the economy is. I mean, it is nuts right now. I can't believe it. So today, Kim and I have no stocks because once that old saying is, once you see how they make sausage, you'll never eat it again. So I don't like, if you like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, have a good life. But once I saw the process of how you take nothing, you take a bunch of BS, and you turn it into a stock and you take it public on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and then if lucky, it goes to the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. I really don't like the process personally, but all it did was convince me why gold, silver, and today Bitcoin, far more solid investments given what's going on in the It's exciting. And I only like early stage. Like people say, are you buying Bitcoin? I said, I already bought Bitcoin. And They don't understand that. So your profit is made when you buy, not when you sell. I am not buying gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I'm betting against the Fed.
Sure.
That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
And when I look at how screwed up the Fed is and the Treasury is, that's why gold bugs go, how come the price of gold is not higher? Isn't that true? Because the dollar is toxic. The dollar is more of a COVID pandemic than anything I've ever seen. I wouldn't touch that damn dollar. That's how I'm texting back and forth. I won't hold dollars right now. I'd rather not hold dollars.
Even short-term U.S. dollars, you don't want them.
We only want them if in case there's an investment. But I always say to Kim, we do save gold, silver, Bitcoin, and we use debt as money. We're real estate guys. So real estate guys borrow money to invest. Why would you use your own money? What did Frank say?
Frank said his classic line. We were talking about it, raising money for our company, and we're gonna work hard and we're gonna save money, and then we're gonna invest it. And he goes, only lazy people use their own money. And I'm like, no, Frank, I work really hard.
Right.
And he's like, no, wouldn't it be harder to convince somebody else to give you money for your investment? And that was like a game changer for me. I'm like, oh my gosh,
it changed our lives.
It did.
Yeah.
Because when we need money, we borrow money to buy the investment, and the investment throws off cash flow. The extra cash goes into, we save gold, silver, Bitcoin. Yet guys like you were talking about, Raoul Paul is this 90%, his whole asset, his whole wealth is in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Or cryptos.
Yeah.
But anyway, the whole point here, it's a bet against, and in my world and your world, is called counterparty. Who's on the other side of the trade? But my whole thing is, why would you own it? The counterparty is a person called the Fed and the Treasury and Wall Street. That's why I buy gold, silver, Bitcoin. Most toxic thing, more toxic than COVID, is the U.S. dollar.
So powerful words there from Kiyosaki. First of all, I completely agree with him. It is the fiat monetary system is the single greatest problem with humanity. It's the biggest. It's the biggest single issue. I mean, I would suggest the biggest issue actually is the expansion of government. But on any single issue, they've destroyed healthcare, they've destroyed the education system. As they expand and take over different industries, they destroy those industries. But so maybe you could argue that the broader issue is the biggest issue facing humanity is the expansion of government. But the biggest single thing that they have taken over and corrupted beyond repair is the monetary system. And it's just very, very important to understand their privilege to produce dollars. That is their ability at any given moment, any second, they can take everything off of everyone. They are just very, very wise, and they do it a little bit at a time so that they can keep doing it for longer periods of time. Now, your only escape from that is gold, silver, and Bitcoin. I would suggest Bitcoin is significantly superior to gold and silver, but for some people, it's a little bit complicated. Technology, not my bag. I just want a lump of metal I can have in my hand. I got no problem with that. God bless you. I have met precious metals too. But I've come to the exact same conclusion that Kiyosaki has come to, is that you don't need to wait for anybody. There's no permission requested. It's not like going to a bank account and they can say, sorry, no, you can't have a bank account. You can't get blacklisted. Anybody can go and buy gold, silver, Bitcoin, and protect yourself. Buy yourself that life jacket for the absolute inevitability, well, the absolute 100% guarantee that they will be stealing your money if you don't. And then if things get real fast and real crazy, real quick, they will take everything from everyone except those who protected themselves with gold, silver, and cryptocurrency. All right, guys, that's a short one from me today. Take care, and I will see you soon. Actually, before I do that, I always forget to do it. Do all the likes and subscribe things, please. Let me know, by the way, I want to know, did you shed a tear over Kyle Rittenhouse? If you didn't, I'd suggest you're not human. But maybe if you couldn't hear the audio and stuff, I kind of get it. But man, watching a young man break down like that was just incredible. And it just reminds me of miracles are possible. So I'm sure that's how he felt when the weight of some of the most powerful institutions and people in the world have decided to destroy him, and for him to come out victorious. That was just special. Let me know what you thought about that in the comments below. Okay, take care, guys. Bye.